All right, hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Update, my 1000 Days Challenge. This is day 244. So let's get things started. All right, so first and foremost, the balance remains actually dropped. Like what I mentioned yesterday, I was actually stopped out by 2 trades. So actually for Ethereum wise, I'm still in the trade for an experimental trade setup. So let's see how price goes. But otherwise, no major changes in terms of my main trading account setup. And as today, as you understand, it's the 1st of April. So I'm also covering in terms of the monthly candlestick closing itself. So you can see on the S&P 500, things are looking actually very bullish. So we actually closed with a nice bullish candle above, even though we are showing signs of exhaustion 1 time, 2 times. But do bear in mind that we are looking a little bit parabolic from the 20 exponential moving average on the monthly chart, which is something to bear in mind that it could have some sort of consolidation before we actually go up towards higher high in that sense. So that's something to bear in mind. But of course, with a strong momentum, we could continue towards the upside. On the other hand, for Nasdaq, it looks a little bit more bearish. In addition to having 2 consecutive exhaustion kind of indigenous kind of candlestick, we're forming potentially a third one, which is actually closing. We actually closed already. So month two. Currently, right now we're going to start. So yeah. So basically, we did form 3 consecutive indecision exhaustion kind of candlestick. And you can see that there's a decrease in terms of momentum on the MACD itself. So do bear in mind that we could face some sort of retracement. And even if we do retrace to here, as you can see, support from over here, support from over here. And even we do find support around 10,000 wise, it still looks to be a relatively strong and bullish market overall in that sense. And yeah, there's something to bear in mind. And then in terms of ASH, actually, you can see that there was a precursor last month with a very sharp bearish and rejection candlestick with a very long wick itself. So we have 1, we have 2, before we have this bearish engulfing candlestick. So potentially we could even retest this strong support, which is this $33 or $34 mark. If it does come over here on the ASH, I'll be definitely adding a lot in terms of my position wise as well. So there's something to take into consideration. And similarly for KWEB itself, it does drop furthermore. We also have a very nice rejection candlestick last month, and then followed by a very nice rejection candlestick. So there's somehow that what people mentioned, candlestick does have a so-called potential to actually tell the short-term kind of change in terms of momentum shift. So over here you can see there was a bullish engulfing, almost engulfing. It actually went up for a few months before we saw some resistance at this 20 exponential moving average. And then we dropped further, and then we actually tried to rise further, and then we got rejected before support was discovered, and then we actually continued towards the upside again. So there's something to always bear in mind. But if you look into Bitcoin, actually Bitcoin has been extremely bullish since last year, October itself. We're actually seeing consecutive 6 green candlesticks, which we have not in the past history of Bitcoin itself for the longest time actually. You'll see that over here we have only 5, over here we have 3, over here we have only 5 months, and over here we have 3, 4, 2, and here's the only one we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is only time in terms of 2012, which was when Bitcoin was relatively new. And then thereafter we formed a bearish before we actually consolidated and bounced right back up again. So that's bearing in mind that this is the second time that I've seen in terms of this whole Bitcoin chart that we do see 6 consecutive monthly green candlestick, which is extremely bullish. But tentatively, as long as we do not see any strong rejection, I'm still leaning towards the bullish side of things. So I want to see at least some sort of like exhaustion candlestick, or preferably I want a bearish engulfing candlestick. In this case, before I consider looking for a potential short setup, or even to close some of my long position, or lean towards more bearish kind of situation. Yep. Yep. Otherwise, yeah, that's more or less about it. Actually, for here, it's exactly the same thing yet. So the 4-hourly chart is still the same. You can see the 20 exponential moving average is holding very nicely as support. In fact, we actually do fall over and find one more time of support. I'll be potentially putting a buy stop order right over here. So if it does trigger, I'll be potentially having a very, very closely guarded kind of a stop loss. If it does hit over here, find rejection at least 61,000 mark, I'll choose to take 50% profit over here and break even over here itself. So there will be a price action trade that I'll be looking to enter because I see a very nice consolidation over here. And we do break above and see a strong rejection back down. Then of course I'll potentially close my trade as well because I want a strong push through and close above this high itself, which is at around 50. Yep, so really this, yeah, 59.6k, 59.5k region and above. So otherwise, that's more or less about it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.